Thinking about upgrading your Wi-Fi? You see the ads for Google Nest Wi-Fi Pro promising super fast, reliable coverage for your entire home. But here's what surprised me. After testing this system thoroughly, I discovered significant problems that Google doesn't advertise. Therefore, you might be about to spend nearly $300 on something that could actually make your internet experience worse. For the best price, click the link in the description. Let's start with the biggest promise: Wi-Fi 6E, the new 6 GHz band and up to 2x faster speeds than Wi-Fi 6. It sounds like a dream for gamers, streamers, and anyone with a dozen devices. But here's the first major problem. You need Wi-Fi 6E client devices to actually use that shiny new 6 GHz band. Your phone from last year, your laptop, probably not. Therefore, you're buying a Ferrari but only getting permission to drive it on a dirt road. I felt like I'd been handed a gold-plated spoon but told I could only eat soup with it. So for many people, the main selling point is completely inaccessible. Now, the mesh system itself. 3 routers covering up to 6,600 square feet, automatic adjustments, self-monitoring, and strong connections even at the edge. It's supposed to be smart, but the setup and management are locked inside the Google Home app. Therefore, if you're not already living in Google's ecosystem, you're forced to adopt it. No standalone web interface like most prosumer systems. This feels like being invited to a party, but only being allowed to talk through one specific translator. And speaking of smart, it diagnoses and fixes network issues on its own. But I found its troubleshooting to be politely vague. It might tell you something is slow, but not why. Therefore, you're left with a router that says, "I have a headache," but refuses to tell you if it's from stress or a sinus infection. Let's talk about performance. The promise is reliable speeds. However, in a home with mixed walls, some drywall, some brick, the performance at the actual edges was inconsistent. Therefore, that up to 6,600 square feet claim comes with a mountain of legal disclaimers about placement, materials, and layout. It's more of a theoretical maximum under lab conditions. Think of it like a weather forecast that says sunny, but only if you're standing directly under one specific cloudless patch. One of the top features is device prioritization for video calls and quick website loading. But I noticed it doesn't let you manually prioritize specific devices or applications. It's all automatic. Therefore, when my video call was fighting for bandwidth with a background update on another device, I couldn't intervene. The system decided for me, and my call quality dipped. It felt like having a very confident but slightly incompetent co-pilot. Security features are highlighted: secure booting, software updates, pausing unknown devices, and a guest network. These are good, basic modern router features. But here's a twist. It shows you all connected devices, which is great. However, identifying what those devices actually are can be cryptic. Device 47A3 doesn't tell you if it's your smart fridge or a neighbor's phone sniffing around. Therefore, the security feels more like a friendly reminder than a hardened fortress. Now, the price. At around $271.50, it's positioned in the mid to high range for mesh systems. But you must remember it's 3 units. That's the price for the pack. Therefore, comparing it to a single high-end router, it seems like a value. However, the crucial question is, what are you getting for that money? Wi-Fi 6E you might not use, an app-centric experience, and automatic controls that lack granularity. It's like paying for a premium buffet but discovering half the dishes are foods you don't eat. Let's check the Amazon rating. It sits at 4 stars. That's solid. But diving into the reviews reveals a common thread. People love the simplicity and Google integration if they're already Google users. However, the negative reviews often cite the lack of advanced controls, the mandatory app, and the 6 GHz band being useless without new devices. Therefore, the rating reflects a split. A great system for the casual, ecosystem-loyal user, but a frustrating one for the tinkerer or someone with older gear. Here's another joke. Setting up this system felt less like configuring a network and more like asking a very polite but slightly confused librarian to organize my books by color instead of author. Compatibility is a major point. Nest Wi-Fi Pro uses Wi-Fi 6E and is not compatible with previous Google Wi-Fi or Nest Wi-Fi units. This means you can't mix and match to expand an old system. Therefore, if you have older Google units, this is a full replacement, not an upgrade. That's a significant investment. It's like being told you need to buy a new electric car because your old one's charger plug shape changed. The product description emphasizes it's for your entire home, but the phrase entire home is relative. With the legal disclaimers, your entire home might need 4 or 5 units, not 3, and the system recommends not using more than 5 routers. Therefore, for larger or challenging layouts, you might hit a performance ceiling. Imagine buying a ladder advertised to reach your roof, but the instructions say it might not work if your house is too tall or made of slippery material. The automatic performance adjustment is a key selling point. In practice, it works well for general traffic shaping. But when you need stability for something like a competitive gaming session or a large file transfer, you might want manual, guaranteed priority. Therefore, for power users, this automation can feel like a limitation. It's like having an autopilot that's great for highway cruising, but refuses to let you manually steer through a tricky parking spot. Privacy features are mentioned, with the ability to pause devices and create guest networks. These are essential today, and they work simply, but compared to some systems that offer deeper traffic analysis or time-based access schedules, the tools here are foundational. Therefore, for family management with kids, it's good. For complex network rules, it's basic. Let's rehook. Is the Nest Wi-Fi Pro a complete failure? No. But is it the right choice for everyone dreaming of faster Wi-Fi? Absolutely not. The promise is speed and simplicity. The reality is a system built firmly for the Google-centric, average-user household. Therefore, your decision hinges on your specific needs and existing tech. Here's the final joke. Using this router network felt like being in a relationship where your partner is very nice and takes care of things, but you have absolutely no say in how the laundry gets folded. Now, the resolution. After all these problems, why might you still consider buying it? If you are deeply invested in Google services, you use Google Home, Nest devices, Chromecast, then this system integrates seamlessly. The setup is genuinely easy for a mesh network. The coverage, while dependent on your home layout, is typically good for standard homes with the 3-pack. The security and privacy features, while basic, are perfectly adequate for most families. And for future-proofing, when you eventually get Wi-Fi 6E devices, that 6 GHz band will be there, ready and uncongested. Therefore, the Nest Wi-Fi Pro is a solid, user-friendly mesh system with a specific vision. It's not a pro-grade tool. It's a smart home appliance for your network. If you want simplicity, integration, and a hassle-free setup over advanced control, this could be an excellent purchase. But if you're a network enthusiast, have mostly non-6E devices, or crave detailed manual settings, you should look at other systems. Ultimately, it's about matching the product's personality to your needs. For the right person, it solves the problems of weak coverage and complex setup beautifully. For the best price on Amazon and to see if it's the right match for your home, click the link in the description below.